Well, hey everybody, it's Sandy and welcome back to my channel dedicated to helping you advocate for your own health, one topic at a time. So guys, today I want to share with you a list that I've compiled, and it's about strategies for living in the time of COVID. Yeah, so I just want to say, first of all, thank you and welcome to my new subscribers, to my subscribers who have been with me for a while. It seems that my channel is experiencing a period of growth, and I'm so grateful for that. So for those of you who have not subscribed to my channel, if you value my content, I hope you'll consider subscribing. I created this channel to be a public service, sort of my way of giving back. So I don't load it up with affiliate links and commissions and things that would make my reviews and recommendations biased. Subscribership is really my way forward, and I just want to thank you so much for helping me with that. I hope that I've been able to help you. So I'm planning to do a video soon on my channel in which I will be interviewing a clinical psychologist who's worked with patients through COVID, or patients who've had COVID, or patients who are just navigating their way through the pandemic who haven't had COVID. I really hope people will find that video enjoyable and helpful. But it got me thinking that there really is a pretty concrete list of things that I've done over the past couple of years, and I decided I was going to share with you the ones that have stuck and have served me well. So my first suggestion is know your own risk tolerance. So I see this particularly come up in the Facebook groups page. So if you're new to my channel, Sandy's DIY Health Advocacy does have a Facebook page, and there is a group that you can ask to join, and it's very interesting, it's interactive, and people are very helpful, and it's just more of a conversation that takes place, so feel free to head on over there and ask to join the group. But this is something that comes up in the group a lot, where I notice that different people have different levels of risk tolerance. Some people don't want to take any risk at all because they're very afraid that even if they had a mild case of COVID, that they would maybe become long haulers. I am hoping to explore what is the real risk of that in the very near future. But suffice it to say, some people are more risk adverse than others. Some people are off doing air travel. Other people are saying, well, I wouldn't want to get in an airport, so I'll travel by car. You know, there's all different ways to do things, but you really have to start by knowing what is your own risk tolerance, because it might not be the same as other people's around you. And if you find yourself like agreeing to things that you're really not comfortable with, and this is, I guess, kind of a truth in life anyway, regardless of COVID, you're just going to be setting yourself up to have all kinds of anxiety and upset, and you really won't be able to enjoy the plans that you make. So make sure that you understand where your risk tolerance is and try to work from there in terms of planning things that you could do that would bring you joy. Now, just a little disclaimer here, I'm certainly not a clinical psychologist, and if you feel like you need help with this, then you should definitely get some. I'm sure that there are plenty of professional people out there who can help you deal if your level of anxiety is so high that you can't find any joy in life. I'm not going to be able to help you with that, but you definitely do need some help. I wholeheartedly recommend seeking professional help if that's what's needed. Okay, so tip number 2, try to develop more of a life outdoors. You know, I'm too risk adverse right now to go to the gym. I'm not going to be going to places that are indoors where lots of people are huffing and puffing, and in my area there's no mask mandates anywhere, so I'm not going to a gym right now. But I can exercise outdoors. I started a few months ago a walking program where I'm walking at a brisk pace for 3 miles a day. I try to do this in the morning. Likewise with entertaining. So I'd said before on the channel that we had just kind of a back porch. It was really nothing interesting, and we're like building out and putting some paver stones in there and making it nice. We're carving out a fire pit area. We bought a grill and we bought some patio furniture so that we can essentially have people over just like I'd have them over in the house, but we're going to have them over outside. You know, there are things you can do to cozy up your outdoor space, and there's a lot you can do if you just check on, like, look on the internet for tight or small outdoor spaces. I have seen the tiniest little balconies be made just beautiful for entertaining, and maybe you'll be limited in terms of the number of people you can have, but you know, that's not such a bad thing right now anyway, since we're talking about minimizing our risks with COVID and still being able to enjoy our lives. So you might have to have smaller, intimate things if all you have is a little terrace. If you don't have something like that, there are other outdoor places you can find. You can go other places that are outdoors. You can have a picnic in the park with your friends. There's any number of things you can do, but I really think that going forward long term, even if, I can't even imagine COVID not being a thing, but I'm hoping. But you know, this is something that I think is going to stick for me. I think I want to do more of my entertaining outdoors anyway. All right, so tip number 3. I've heard it said that it really helps you and it feeds your soul to help other people. So like when you do charity work or you give something, you actually get a lot back, emotionally, mentally, whatever it might be. I have definitely found that to be true, and I think we could all use more of that. I could up that ante in my own life. I think we could all use more of giving to other people. So, yes, of course, you can get involved in any particular charity of your choice and try to raise money or do whatever work you want to do for that charity. But you can also do small things with just the people around you. And you can just decide that you're going to nurture people around you. And that can be something really small, but just think about it. Do it mindfully. It can be something like, today I'm going to surprise my partner with a, cup of coffee or something that, he or she really enjoys. Today I'm going to cook someone's favorite meal. I'm really into cooking and stuff, and for me, it's almost like an artistic outlet. I have loved cooking for many years. And one way that I nurture people is I try to figure out something that they would really like, pick something, one of their favorite things, and try to prepare it in a new way, or something that's really going to be a nice, enjoyable experience for them. Just try to figure out a way, even if it's something really small, like even sending a text that connotes a certain amount of thoughtfulness about what's going on for somebody else, but mindfully do something to nurture somebody else. Okay, my next tip is sort of an extension of that, and that is gratitude. And another way to think about gratitude is perspective. I've kind of heard that word gratitude is like overused now, I think, although it is really important. But perspective, sometimes I have like a really down moment or hour or whatever it is about this pandemic and kind of how it's changed things for us. And, one time my husband said to me, think about what people have lived through. I mean, people have gone through famines, people have gone through wars. Some people are still going through those things amidst COVID. And it is a little bit of an attitude adjuster. It does offer a barometer or some perspective, but it's also good to just mindfully have some gratitude. So maybe in the morning when you first get up, think of 3 things that you're really grateful for and really focus on them. Pay attention to each one. Say it out loud or say it in your head, but give it its moment where you're not, crowding it with other things that are going through your head. It's not a passive, fleeting thought. It's something you're going to focus on for that moment. Okay, my next tip is make some plans, even if you know they might be broken. Make some long-term plans. So I've traveled a couple times during this pandemic. I haven't been comfortable yet getting into airport situations. The plane doesn't bother me, but it's the airport. I have done driving trips. We've done a few of them now. And, I know that if I'm going to plan something far in advance, it might be that there's some big wave with some variant that comes along and the whole thing's going to get canceled, and it might be very disappointing. But it does allow you a certain amount of invigorating energy to just make the plans and start learning about something new. And then you still have all that knowledge later if something has to get changed. So your plans might not be broken. Maybe they'll be postponed. I have had to postpone plans that I worked hard on because of this pandemic, but I still did learn a lot making those plans. And it's going to be a quick memory refresh when I get to put those into motion again. And that actually is a good segue to my next point, which is learning new things. So if you are planning a trip to somewhere that you've always dreamed about, it might be someplace that's interesting historically, or it might be a place that's interesting because of its geography. Whatever it might be, you're learning a lot during that planning session. So you can do that even without planning. Try to learn new skills or take on new endeavors. So like I said, I'm sort of an amateur chef. I really do enjoy cooking. And like I also said, we started making our outdoor space suitable for entertaining, and we bought a grill. The kind of grill we got was a Kamado. We got a small Kamado Joe. That's a whole other topic, but that's a whole area of cooking to learn I knew nothing about. So I had to kind of start fresh. I watched a lot of YouTube videos. I read a lot of articles about how to do this and that and the other thing on the Kamado Joe. I have a little mini, so it's a little bit limited, but I really am having so much fun with that. And yeah, it's invigorating to learn something new. And then I'm able to make people's favorite things and nurture people and check off a couple other items on the list while I'm at it. My next point is actually something that I did before COVID ever was a thing, and I've had a focus on this in my life anyway, and it was part of my vision for this channel long before COVID was even a thing. And that is mind-body health. I have a regimen. It might change at different times. It has changed over the years. There are certain mind-body things that I do. One is meditation and another one is yoga. Now, if anybody wants me to elaborate on those in another video, I will. I have talked a bit about meditation. It was a long while ago before I was actually very comfortable in front of the camera. So probably if you go seek those videos out, you'll be profoundly bored with them. Meditation is something I've been practicing for a really long time. And in a nutshell, I think the best reason to do meditation, and there are many, but the best reason is that it elicits what's called the relaxation response. So you've heard of the fight or flight response most likely, and that is something that happens in the body when, way back when we were running from saber-toothed tigers, or when now you hear about a new variant coming, when you think you might have gotten too close to somebody. There's all kinds of things that cause a fight or flight response. I think there's a lot of things that are causing that these days. And that takes a little bit of a wear and tear. It's a natural response. It's meant for a reason. It's supposed to get you running fast if you're being chased by something, but it does do a little bit of damage. And it's not really realistic to say you're going to get rid of stress in your life. You're not going to get rid of stress. Stress is a part of life, and we're supposed to have this fight or flight response, this autonomic reaction. But what you need is, instead of the unrealistic expectation of getting rid of that stress, at the same time, we need something that can help heal the damage caused by that stress. Now, the relaxation response is the way to do that. If you can elicit a relaxation response for just a few minutes every day, and this is done primarily by meditation and or yoga, I use a combination of them, you can repair a lot of the damage that's been done, and even down to the DNA level. So that's a whole long conversation. But suffice it to say, some kind of mind-body work, in my opinion, is crucial. So if you haven't picked that up yet, please start learning about it. It's a whole new journey. And yeah, it'll check off another item on the list, which is that you'll learn a lot of things that are new. And then finally, I don't want to get too into the weeds of supplements, but part of my routine of taking care of myself, and I think one thing that has really helped me throughout COVID, is keeping track of my supplements and the things that I do, not only for my immune health, but for other aspects of my health. So I am a proponent of supplements. I have done some videos on some specific supplements, so you can look for those, or if somebody wants any more of a conversation on any of these individually, I will be happy to do that in future videos. But as just a short synopsis, for immune health, I do take vitamin C, vitamin D, and zinc. Now, I don't take just any C, D, or zinc. That's a whole other conversation, but that's what I do for my immune health. To keep inflammation at bay, I do take some herbs that are anti-inflammatory, like ginger and turmeric, and I do take some oils because those oils are anti-inflammatory. And then finally, I do have a supplementation routine for my bone health. Now, of course, a bone health regimen doesn't speak specifically to COVID, but supplementation, in my opinion, does. So yeah, if you guys want to hear anything more specific about supplementation and elaboration on any particular point about it, please put something down below in the comment box, and I'll make sure to answer it, and perhaps put up a video if I get the sufficient interest in any of those things. So I am looking forward to bringing a video soon with, like I said, a clinical psychologist who's going to talk to us about some of the impacts of COVID that she has seen and some of her suggestions. And please, if I could ask you to put down in the comment section if you have any specific things that have helped you get through this happily and healthfully, and other people might be able to benefit from those suggestions as well. And until next time, be well. Bye-bye.